Hey guys, welcome to the show where we speak to the people that inspire, motivate and entertain you. Today we're going to be talking to Hannah and Emily from Twice the Health, and they have amassed over 60,000 followers on Instagram, and they're here today in Clapham to talk to you. Okay, something a bit different today. Two people on camera.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about yourselves?
So we are Twice the Health. I am Hannah.
And I'm Emily.
And together, obviously, we make up Twice the Health.
Okay, so how do you guys meet?
So we actually met at university, which is like 7 years
Oh God, 2011?
A long
Which
time
uni
ago.
was it?
Yeah.
We're at
Newark.
Newark, yeah, which is in
that's
Cardiff.
how I've met.
Yeah. And so we met there. We didn't do as much running there as we do now, but we probably will have run against each other when we were younger, like at cross country and athletics. But we did run a little bit at uni, but that's where we met. And then I guess the kind of real story began when I convinced Emily to move to London, which was just after university.
Convinced her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'll never live in London. It's disgusting. Why
Yeah.
would you live there? I was 5 years now.
I got a job, a proper job. I was on an internship with cancer research as soon as I came out of university. I had a marketing internship, and then I got a job with a company called D&D London, who are a big restaurant chain, and I worked in their marketing department and events department. So I convinced Emily to move up. And yeah, that's what sort of the rest is history.
So you worked in marketing, I think, and yourself, what were you?
So I did sports, biomedicine, and nutrition at university, which was then really hard to like get into jobs. Well, I was waitressing when I first moved to London, so I used to work for a company that's called Roots and Bulbs. They did like cold pressed juices, and I used to work in a really fancy hairdressers in Marylebone, just do all the food. Twice Health is now like 90% of my job, along with We Are Runners, which is our run club, and I still do a little bit of nutrition on the side.
Sweet. And yourself, We Are Runners, is that your focus now? Or
Yeah, so I'm sort of 3 days a week, Twice the Health, and then I also work for a company called Fresh Fitness Food, which is a nutrition company, and I am in their marketing team. I've been there for 5 years.
And We Are Runners, can you explain a little bit how that works and how that plays out?
Yeah, it kind of came about, people messaging us on social media being like, oh, I'd love to go running, but I don't have anyone to go running with, and like, it's really hard to motivate yourself to go on your own. So we're like, okay, well maybe we'll start doing a run club so people can come and run with us. So it was just called like TTH Runners, like Twice the Health Runners, and it was just Hannah and I, and we used to have one of us at the front, and then we'd be like, oh, I'll go back and I'll scoop everyone up. So now the back person we call the scooper, which sounds like a really horrible name, and it's with love and endearment. So it was just, the two of us, and it was kind of, it's chaos. It's trying really hard to, as soon as it's over like 10 people, you need more.
You end up running like 5k extra.
Yeah.
Turns out people can't read maps and have no directional skill.
And don't really want to.
Yeah, they're
I'd
like,
much rather be
what
led.
do you mean you're not telling me where I'm going? So the people that came regularly were like, do you mind having the route, and like just pacing a few people, and then the term pacer kind of came about, and now we've got 28 pacers, and we have 7 run clubs in London and 3 outside of London.
And if someone wants to join with you guys, how do they do that?
So anyone can come along. You don't have to be a member or anything like that. It's something that we're maybe looking at introducing as part of like so they'll get loads of little perks and stuff. But at the moment, you just sign up on MyCrew. So head over to MyCrew, download the app and sign yourself up. You can also actually sign in just on a web page now as well.
Yeah.
But the app's really cool. It's kind of like a social hub for fitness events. There's loads on there every day of the week, loads of different kind of runs, workshops, classes, whatever. There's loads of stuff on there. So you can kind of plan your week around MyCrew.
Wicked. And so you guys and running, how did that start? I know you mentioned at university you ran against each other, but like,
yes,
who
we
did you go for?
literally always run.
Yeah.
My sister was really good at running, so I wanted to also be good at running. So I used to do 800, and then kind of went 1500, and then moved on to cross country. I think you kind of had a similar pattern.
Yeah.
And then
I wasn't as good, but
But-
I did bits. And then when we moved to London, I actually signed us up to London Marathon with about 10 weeks notice.
the 2015 one.
Yeah, and neither of us had really run more than 5k. I was saying before, I remember doing a 10k once, and I came home and made myself a milkshake with a whole packet of Oreos, because that's how far I thought I'd run. Yeah, it was cracking.
Well deserved.
Yeah,
Definitely,
so good. And so bad, like I just didn't need that. And And so yeah, so we trained for London Marathon, and that's kind of why Twice Health started. We decided to do a bit of a crash course in marathon training and document our journey.
The Instagram page itself, when you first got that going, was that around that London Marathon time?
Yeah, that's when
And
we
then you
started
kind
it.
of held it
Yeah.
back for a few
We
months.
came
and
up
then,
with some really bad names to start with.
Yeah.
So like trying to be like, oh, we thought we wanted like pear as in like the fruit, and then we were a pear. And we also we wanted London and like blonde in it, and then fitness and health and like.
There was a lot of words.
Go on, give me your best other
I think the pear one, was it like London pear or something?
London pear.
London pears.
Yeah.
Just pears. Oh,
So bad, yeah. We literally tried to get every word in there, and eventually came up with Twice the Health. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. We were sort of saying before, and we were lucky. We were in the right place at the right time. We were kind of starting this as influencing was kind of coming into its own and was really being given kind of time of day. I think only really in the last 2 years, have we really kind of found what we want Twice the Health to be, and at the heart of that is running.
Running, okay, yeah. No, fantastic. So just to get a bit of an idea as well on your training, obviously people watching this will run themselves.
Yeah.
Like, can you break down a week, the best week possible?
The best
like,
week
I know not every
possible.
week can be the best week possible.
Yeah, it's
so.
kind of like our training changed a lot at the end of last year. We took part in a 100-kilometer ultra, then Hannah did a 5-day ultra, and then previous to that I've done a half Ironman, and then we'll be training for a half and a full Ironman. So our training does change. But I guess like the ideal week, we normally have 2 strength sessions, 1 run club, 1 long run, and 1 track session, and then maybe a class if the time allows.
Again, like it's difficult. I'll do what my ideal week. Like if I could, you know, I'd probably
Barry's.
no.
Every day?
Absolutely not. Only 3 times. No. I actually think one of my ideal weeks would be back when I was training for Jordan, where I'd probably have 2 rest days. I'd have, and again, this isn't sustainable and something I do for, you know, all year round, but my weekends would be 2 long runs, like 35, 40K back to back. But I do them with friends, and I might run to a park run, do a park run, run to a race, do a race, you know, whatever it might be, run back. And then the days I did have 1 track session, which would be kind of early on in my week, and then I'd have a run club and 2 strength sessions. But I just love those kind of weekends that were just basically running and eating.
Yeah. So do you have any top tips for like you could give? I know you do more gym-based stuff. Maybe some top tips you can give for maybe 1 each for running your side of things and then gym stuff.
Yeah, I think from the gym point of view, what you mainly want to look at is when you're running, you are actually only ever on 1 leg, or you're not even on any legs at any time, but no point of both your feet on the ground at the same time. So a lot of single leg work. It will just help to build that stability. If you look at a lot of runners, their knees will like drop in and stuff. You get a lot of like ankle, hip and knee pain. That's just because there's just no stability. Like everything you do is on this one plane of motion, and as soon as anything goes from side to side, we have no control and strength for it. So yeah, anything down to like lunges, Bulgarian split squats, anything like that, where you're loading through 1 leg at a time, is going to do wonders for your running.
Be specific, I think. We train. Our strength sessions are programmed around the fact that we're runners, or when you sort of start training for the Ironman for triathlon, like we're not just training random body parts because we want them to look good.
Obviously you do quite a lot of races, so you like the run-through races.
Yeah.
But apart from the run-through races, what other stuff do you do? What have you got coming up over the next year or so?
We've got quite different years this year, which is weird. You've got a few helping some people out for different races and helping pace them. And then we're taking part in a relay across Scotland.
Wicked.
Which is going to be really good fun. So Hannah's in the ultra team, so they're a team of 4, and I'm in the normal team, so we've got a team of 8. And it will be a race.
It will be a race. It's a bit like a Ragnar relay-esque type thing.
Okay, yeah.
So we're running the length of Scotland, or across Scotland.
Not the length.
Length across Scotland, sorry. Yeah.
You can do the length if you want.
Yeah, no, thank you. The width of Scotland. And yeah, so teams of 4, teams of 8, and you're in a van, and you're just constantly jumping out. So I've got 55 kilometres for the whole 24 hours. I'm actually going to Scotland in 2 weeks' time with a group of other runners, and we're out there to set some course records so that when people come and do the race, I don't know why they've picked me, very bad idea, but
a really good runner.
but we're out there to set some course records, so that'll be really fun and test run the route. But yeah, so we're going to be E versus H, a bit of a race. The people in my team are almost as competitive as me, which is fantastic.
We're a bit more like
a bit more chilled. So that's where we're evening it out.
Because you go in different directions, I suppose, in some ways.
Yeah.
In terms of your kind of goals. How do you bring yourself back together for obviously Twice the Health?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like nice. It kind of complements each other, and it kind of brings us like back down to ground level. I think when you can get so caught up in your own training and like, oh, what I'm doing is so important, and it's nice to like have that other person be like, oh, there are other goals and there are other ways of training things, and our training can overlap in so many ways. Like even though later in the year. So in August, Hannah will be doing the 70.3 Ironman. I'll be doing the full Ironman. It's on the same weekend. So the date-wise is exactly the same, and so much of it will complement each other. Obviously, I'll be going slower, but I'm going to be going further. So our training we can still go to cycle to Lake together, still do a swim and cycle back.
And also, the back end of last year, obviously, I did sort of my biggest race to date, kind of accident, but that wasn't really planned. But poor Em's had to put up with a lot of crap and a lot of kind of last minute manic stressing and everything that comes with training for an ultramarathon, and really was my kind of cheerleader, and when I come in from the long runs knackered or was stressing about X, Y and Z, Ems was kind of there to bounce ideas off, and if I needed someone to come and run a few miles with me, she'd be the first to jump up and do it. So I'm excited although I've got lots of things in and I've definitely filled my year, I'm excited to be a bit of a cheerleader next year, and if Em needs to go and do a long bike ride, I don't really have anything that means I can't go and do a long bike ride. I'm not training for a specific race or anything, so I can be there to go down to the lake or to get some miles in with her or whatever she needs type thing, and that was very much, and I think that's what does bring us back together, is that even though we're on different training journeys or whatever, we are constantly supporting each other, and it is all connected because we're still sort of training for the same endurance type events, but it is really nice that we can kind of both take steps back to support each other in different elements.
I was going to say, like, what inspires you guys to inspire other people, but that kind of answers it in a way.
Yeah,
You're both inspiring each other.
Yeah, and we are very different in strengths. People always think that because we run together all the time and we have the same PBs or whatever, we are the same speed or the same, endurance or whatever, but actually we are very different runners.
So I've got a few quick-fire questions.
Cool.
Different because it's two of you, so if possible, you could both answer it at the exact same time.
Okay, let's try.
I feel like I need a buzzer.
Yeah,
yeah, probably do actually. Okay. Right, morning run or evening run?
Morning.
Breakfast or tea?
Breakfast.
You're copying
Oh,
that.
you're so quick. How are you?
Yoga or Pilates?
Yoga.
Oh, I thought you said yogurt. I was so confused.
That's my accent, sorry.
I was like, what a strange option.
Yoga or Pilates?
Yeah. Oh.
Yoga or Pilates?
Actually, if it's the Pilates where you're on the bed.
Reformer.
Yeah, that one, because
reformer.
it's really nice for stretching.
You've changed that one. Reformer Pilates or yoga? Okay. Train alone or train in a group?
Oh, group.
Yeah, probably group. Most of the time, 90% of the time.
Okay. Medal or t-shirt?
Medal.
Oh. Yeah, medal.
I'm such a gold digger when it comes to race medals, like literally.
I'm picky on if it was like a vest, t-shirts, I find them quite smothering to run in.
Okay.
I'm like a tank top.
Whenever I'm talking about RunThrough events, I'm literally like, you go for the medal and the flapjack.
Actually, it's flapjack.
Legit, yeah. Those flapjacks. Who makes those
I've got a
flapjacks?
friend who does it.
Honestly.
Oh my gosh, can you buy them in bulk?
I do take two every time.
I've got one in the fridge. I did that. I got one in the fridge from Saturday.
Store them up for afterwards. Oh. Okay, last one. Gym or outdoors?
Outdoors, yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. Is anything else you want to add to the people watching this about you guys and what you do, or about any tips or advice?
I think we did quite a cool blog post, and I guess it's quite relevant. We did a blog post a little while back about why race not run, and I think people get really sort of psych themselves out over a race. They like build themselves up for days and days and days, and they really kind of stress about the competitive element, or what could go wrong, or what couldn't go wrong, or whether they'll smash their PB or whether they won't, or whatever. And something that we've really tried to reinforce, I guess, is that not every race has to be a race. You could have it as part of a run. It's also a great way of, and part of the reason that I like to race a lot of weekends, and I'm not racing all out, but I like to attend races and do races, as you know, because you see me most weekends, not just for the medal, is that it makes it makes the whole situation less daunting. So when you do step up for that A race, you've been in that situation 1,000 times, you've raced 1,000 times, and although this might be your goal race, and yes, you might have a few butterflies, actually the environment of being in a race, and obviously the RunThrough ones are really kind of welcoming and supportive, and you don't feel super nervous, but it is still lots of people, there's still an announcement, there's still,
it's down to that, like even like the queuing for the toilet, depending on your number, the announcement's being made, people like running around, you've got to go bag check, and the more often you do that, the more it feels normal. So when it does come to your A race or whatever, it's like as you said, you still have some butterflies, but it feels more normal.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as terrifying, and I think that is such an important thing. You don't need to psych yourself out about every single race. And yes, obviously the medal is great, and you might have a good race. And we all know running in a group, I'm hands down the worst for this. Is I'm like, I'm just gonna run this easy, and then I get in there and I'm like, everybody's going down. Like Saturday, that was like, legs were quite heavy. I was like, I'll just see how I go.
Photo evidence of it.
Yeah.
She won the race.
And there's one girl in front of me. I was like, having it, not a chance, you know. Yeah. It was a very nice course though, until I got to the end where my legs were actually completely shot, and that's the reason I wasn't going to race it. But you do, but actually that's quite good. Like there's nothing wrong with a bit of friendly competition, and if it does push you a little bit, then it pushes you a little bit.
Perfect. Thank you very much, guys, for that today.
No
Appreciate it.
worries. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks to Hannah and Emily for talking with us today. If you want to find out more about RunThrough, check out our website at runthrough.co.uk and also on Instagram and Twitter at RunThroughUK.